July 31st, I'm seeing stalled growth meet real emotional awareness. That is the whole pressure point. You have been trying to move something forward, but the ground keeps saying no. Not forever, just not yet. Three of Wands reversed. This card is about delayed expansion, and it shows you keeping a plan half built. You checked the reply, you waited, you checked again. Nothing moves. So now you are staring at the same next step and pretending that is not the problem. Actually, no, the problem is the timing. Three of Wands reversed says do not force momentum just to feel in motion. Reassess the plan. Name the real obstacle. If the path is blocked, stop calling it progress. Seven of Cups. This card is about too many options, and it shows you scrolling possibilities instead of choosing one. You are imagining 10 futures at once. One version says stay, one says go, one says wait for better conditions, another one is just fantasy with good lighting. Seven of Cups asks you to separate what is real from what is tempting. Pick one priority. Not five, not a backup plan for the backup plan. You knew this already. The confusion is not the message. The refusal to commit is. Because the Tower reversed is in the mix too, and that changes the whole tone. The Tower reversed is resisted upheaval. It is the crack in the wall you keep painting over. You saw the warning signs. You heard the weak spot. You felt the structure shift. And instead of naming it, you patched it. That is not stability. That is delay. The Tower reversed says the collapse is already trying to happen in slow motion. Face the truth sooner. Release what is unstable. Do not sit there defending what is already breaking. So this moment is not asking you to panic. It is asking you to stop mistaking delay for failure. That is a big difference. Three of Wands reverse says the plan needs adjustment. Seven of Cups says the choices need sorting. The Tower reverse says the thing you are protecting may be the thing that is costing you peace. Look at what you keep doing. Waiting on the reply that never comes. Keeping the option open because choosing would make it real. Staying in the situation after the cracks show because leaving feels like admitting something ended. That is the pattern. That is the behavior. Not a mystery, a pattern. Let me rephrase that. You are not being asked to force a breakthrough. You are being asked to tell the truth about what is stalled, what is fantasy, and what is already over. Then move accordingly. Taurus, your power here is not speed. Your power is discernment. Slow is fine. Unclear is not. Choose the real thing. Release the unstable thing. And stop building your future out of maybe. Taurus, July 31st. I'm seeing the same pattern, but louder now. You are not dealing with a simple delay. You are dealing with a delay that is exposing what was never fully built. Three of Wands reversed. This card is about stalled movement, and the stall is the point. You planned the next step, then you kept it half built. You waited on a reply. It did not come. You kept checking anyway. That is the energy here. The issue is not that nothing is happening. The issue is that you have been calling hesitation a strategy. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You have been calling fear timing. 3 of Wands. Reversed asks you to look at the real obstacle. Is it logistics, or is it you not wanting to find out the answer? Do not force momentum just to feel productive. Reassess the road. Cut the fantasy version of the plan. Name what is blocked. Queen of Cups. This card shows emotional intelligence, but not the soft kind that disappears into everybody else's needs. Queen of Cups is the person who knows something is off before the proof lands. You felt the shift in the room. You saw the tone change. You noticed the gap in the messages. You did not need a full confession to know the shape of the truth. Because that matters here. Your intuition is not being dramatic. It is reading the room faster than your mind wants to admit. But do not turn that into self-sacrifice. Do not keep soothing a situation that keeps draining you. Queen of Cups says, listen beneath the surface, then protect your own center. You can care without caring, everybody. 7 of Cups. This card is where the mind starts spinning 10 futures at once. You scroll. You compare, you imagine the version where it works, the version where it fails, the version where somebody finally chooses you, the version where you walk away first. That is a lot of noise. 7 of Cups is not asking you to dream bigger. It is asking you to pick one real thing, one priority. One truth. Do not chase every possibility just because it looks good from far away. Fantasy can feel safer than action because fantasy never has to prove itself. But you are being asked to separate what is real from what is just appealing. The Tower reversed. This card is the warning you keep trying to patch over. The cracks are already there. The structure is already unstable. The Tower reverse shows resistance to the necessary break, and that resistance is costing you time. You keep trying to make it look fine. You keep adjusting the same weak spot. You keep hoping the pressure will ease if you ignore it long enough. It will not. This is the part where avoidance starts pretending to be stability. It is not stability, it is delay, and delay has a bill. Do not cling to the thing because it is familiar. Do not stay because leaving feels messy. The mess is already here. The only question is whether you face it now or wait for it to force the issue. Taurus, July 31st. The room is loud and you are tired of pretending it is not. 3 of Wands reversed. This card is showing the plan that never got off the ground. You kept the next step half built. You waited on a reply, a sign, a green light, and it did not come. Actually, no, the issue is not just delay. It is that the direction got too narrow. You are trying to move forward with an old map. Reassess it. Name the real blockage. Stop forcing momentum where the timing is already telling you no. Queen of Cups. This card is the quiet read in your body before the facts show up. You felt the shift before anybody said it out loud. You kept listening to everybody else, though. You held the room, you absorbed the tone, you tried to smooth it over. That is the move. That is what drained you. Trust the raid. Hold the line. Do not over-explain what you already know in your gut. Five of Wands. This card is the noise fight. Too many people, too many opinions, too many small fires. Somebody says one thing, somebody else says another, and suddenly you are in the middle of a mess you did not start. Because the real issue is not every voice in the room. The real issue is that your focus got pulled in 5 directions at once. Pick the battle that matters. Let the rest make noise without you feeding it. 7 of Cups. This card is the scroll spiral. You kept looking at options instead of choosing one. One future. Then another, then another. You imagined every version and none of them became real because you would not pin one down. Let me rephrase that. The problem is not that you have no possibilities. The problem is that you are mistaking possibility for direction. Separate what is real from what is just tempting. Pick the one thing that can actually move. The Tower reversed. This card is the crack you kept patching. You saw the break. You saw the stress. You saw the structure wobble, and you tried to make it look stable anyway. Don't lie to yourself. That is not safety. That is postponing the hit. The Tower reversed is resistance to the change that is already here. Face it sooner. Release what is unstable. Stop calling avoidance a plan. So this is pressure, but it is also clarity. The noise is not the message. The delay is not the answer. The fantasy is not the path. The body knows. The facts are starting to show, and the thing you keep trying to hold together, it is already asking to be seen as it is. Taurus, July 31st. This is not asking you to dream bigger. It is asking you to stop dodging what is already obvious. 3 of Wands, reverse. The plan is stalled. The reply did not come. The next step keeps getting pushed off because part of you knows the direction is off. I'm seeing you keep something half built on the table and calling it not the right time. Actually, no, it is more like you do not want to name the real obstacle. You keep waiting for movement, but the delay is the message. You already knew that. The growth you want is not coming through that same narrow opening. Queen of Cups. Your body has already picked up what your mind keeps arguing with. You noticed the tone change. You felt the room go cold. You saw the text and knew it was off before you even finished reading it. Queen of Cups says, trust that read. Do not over-explain it. Do not hand your piece to everybody else in the room. Hold the boundary quietly. Listen beneath the surface, then act on what you heard. Five of Wands. Too many voices are pulling at you. One person wants one answer, another person wants a different one, and now the whole thing is getting noisy. You are not confused because the truth is complicated. You are confused because the noise is loud. Let me rephrase that. The noise is being used to keep you from choosing. Pick the real issue. Stop feeding every little clash. If the group chat is turning into a wrestling match, step out. Not every spark needs your response. Four of Swords reversed. You are not resting. You are checking, refreshing, replaying, and calling it staying on top of things. That is burnout with a costume on. This card says recovery has been interrupted. Sleep is not landing. Your mind keeps running the same loop. Stop pretending motion is healing. Slow down on purpose. Put the phone down. Let the silence stay there long enough for your nervous system to catch up. Seven of Cups. Too many options, and some of them are just pretty distractions. You can imagine 10 futures, but only one of them is real enough to build. Do not chase every possibility because it feels safer than choosing. It does not. It scatters you. Name one priority. Separate what is real from what is fantasy. If you keep scrolling through outcomes instead of deciding, you are not exploring. You are avoiding. The Tower reversed. This is the part where the cracks have already shown, and somebody is still trying to patch over them. The structure is unstable. The change is not random. It has been building. You keep calling it fine because you want the comfort of delay, but delay is not safety. This card says face the break sooner, release what is failing, prepare for the honest disruption instead of waiting for it to force your hand. So for Taurus, the turning point is simple. Too many options are exposing the cost of avoiding change. The delay, the noise, the exhaustion, the fantasy, all of it is pointing at the same thing. One path is real, the rest is distraction. Choose what holds, let the unstable thing fall. Hold on. This is where the stall stops looking harmless. Three of Wands reversed, you kept the next step half built. You waited on a reply, a sign, a clean opening. It didn't come. So now the plan sits there unfinished and you keep staring at it, like staring will make it move. Actually, no, it won't. This card says the delay is real, and the bigger issue is you've been calling hesitation timing. You need to name what is actually blocked because the direction may be outdated. Queen of Cups, you already felt something was off before anybody said it out loud. You read the room. You read the silence. You read the pause after the message. And you were right. Queen of Cups is not asking you to over-explain what you know. It is asking you to trust the read and keep your boundaries soft, not porous. You can care without taking on everybody's mess. You already knew that. Five of Wands. Now the noise starts, different opinions, different pulls. Somebody wants one thing, somebody wants another, and suddenly you're in the middle trying to keep the whole thing from breaking apart. Don't do that. Five of Wands shows friction, not progress. If you keep answering every provocation, you stay in the mess and lose the thread. Pick the real issue. Let the side fights fall off. Four of Swords reversed. You are not actually resting. You are checking, scrolling, replaying, reading, and calling it a break. This card reversed is burnout with your hands still on the switch. The body wants pause. The mind keeps reaching for one more answer. Stop pretending you can recover while staying on alert. Protect the quiet, close the tabs. Put the phone down. Eight of Wands reversed, and there it is. The message is delayed. The timing is off. The thing you wanted to land clean is coming in sideways, or not at all. Don't send the reactive text. Don't force the pace. This card reverse says movement is blocked until the pieces line up. Silence is not the same as rejection. For the actual signal, not the panic. Seven of Cups. Now the options start multiplying. One path looks safe. Another looks exciting. Another looks like the life you wanted 3 months ago. And another is pure fantasy, but very shiny. Seven of Cups says stop scrolling your own future. Choose one real priority. Separate what is possible from what is just tempting. The more you stare at every door, the less you walk through any of them. The Tower reversed. And here is the cost of all that avoiding. Something has already cracked. You patched it. You covered it. You told yourself it was fine because it was still standing. This card reversed says the collapse has been delayed, not erased. The truth is still there under the surface. If you keep clinging to false safety, the break gets louder. Release what is unstable before it forces the issue. So this is simple, even if it feels messy. The delay is not the lesson. The lesson is what you keep avoiding while you wait. Too many options are not freedom if they are keeping you from the one change that matters. Taurus, July 31st. Three of Wands, reversed. This card is about the plan that keeps sitting there unfinished. The Three of Wands reversed shows you waiting on movement that keeps getting delayed. You checked the message, you checked again, nothing changed. So now the real question is not, when does it move? It is, what am I still calling progress when it is actually stalled? Queen of Cups, this card is clean intuition. The Queen of Cups knows before the proof lands. You already felt the shift when showed what your intuition already knows. You felt who was serious, who was vague, and who was only half in. You kept being kind, kept listening, kept holding space, even after brought up the noise you can't ignore. But you also noticed your body tightening. Your stomach knew. Your chest knew. Don't overtalk that. Trust the read. Set the boundary softly, but set it. Five of Wands. This card is the noise around the issue. The Five of Wands shows too many voices, too many opinions, too many little sparks turning into a mess. Somebody wants one thing, somebody else wants another, and you are standing in the middle trying to keep it all from blowing up. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You are not supposed to referee every argument. Pick the real fight. Drop the fake ones. Stop feeding the group chat tension, the mixed signals, the back and forth that never resolves anything. Four of Swords reversed. This card shows rest getting interrupted. The Four of Swords reversed is burnout with your hand still on the phone. You told yourself you were resting, but you kept checking. You said you were done, but you kept replaying the same conversation in your head at 2 a.m. That is not recovery. That is strain. Slow down on purpose. Protect the pause the same way pointed to your body asking for rest. You do not get clarity by running yourself into the floor. Eight of Wands reversed. This card is delayed movement and misfired timing. The Eight of Wands reversed says the answer is not coming as fast as you want it to. Messages get lost, plans change, people go quiet. And then your mind starts making up a story from the silence. Hold on. Silence is not always rejection, but it does echo the delay that changes everything. Sometimes it's just bad timing. Do not send the reactive text. Do not force the reply. For alignment, not panic. Seven of Cups. This card is the fog of too many possibilities. The Seven of Cups shows you scrolling options, imagining 10 outcomes, and none of them becoming a decision. One version looks exciting, another looks safer, another looks easier to explain. But fantasy is not direction. You have to name what is real. Pick one priority. One. Not seven, not all the maybes. The moment tightens when you stop entertaining every door. and choose the one that actually opens. The Tower reversed. This card is the crack you keep patching over. The Tower reversed shows resistance to a change that is already trying to happen. You know what is unstable? You saw the warning signs. You felt the wobble. But you kept calling it temporary. You kept trying to make it look solid. False stability is still unstable. If the structure is already breaking, patching it only delays the truth. Release it sooner and the fall gets smaller. So the moment lands here. Delayed expansion, too much noise, rest interrupted, timing blocked, too many options. And underneath all of it, one truth: what you resist now will shape what can finally move. You do not need to force the next step. You need to stop protecting what is already failing. That is the release. That is the shift, okay? That's all I've got for now. If this hit, oh, you already know what to do. Please, subscribe, tell your group chat. I'll see y'all soon.